Welcome to this week's edition of Just Ask Freeman. Of course, this is brought to you by the CEO and founder of Financial Sources, Inc. That is Freeman Owen Jr. Good afternoon, sir. It's so good to see you.
It's good to see you. I tell you, we've got a ton of information that we've got to get to our viewing audience, I think. And it's the continuation of financial literacy.
That's right. That's what you're all about. And that's why you go out of your way to educate and empower, especially people getting close to retirement. Let's talk about the hidden tax. I think some would say it's kind of the secret killer of your savings, and that is inflation. When you watch the news, we're all worried, but your clients are not.
No, my clients sleep well at night.
Yeah.
Financial literacy. Now, let's say you have $250,000, $500,000, $1 million plus in your tax qualified plans. One of the things I have shared with my clients when it comes to financial literacy is what we call the rule of 72. Now, many of us are educated, but never.
Not on this.
What I tell you, I'll use an example as a former mathematician.
Yeah.
I didn't know anything about the rule of 72 until I entered into this business, which is defined as you divide the number 72 by 8% of interest. It'll tell you how long it takes for your assets to double.
Okay.
Now, we're talking about inflation.
Right.
Okay. Now, with inflation approximately 8.6, almost 9%.
Feels worse.
Yes. You know, a lot of folks say, well, what do I do? Do I get a part-time job? Do I get a time machine and go back? Now, it depends on your situation there. You don't want to do that. You need a person that will provide the financial literacy that understand interest rates.
Right.
Okay. It's very simple. Just ask Freeman. Watch this. If inflation's 8.6%, and you got $500,000, $1 million in income producing assets, in a stable vehicle, those funds will outpace inflation and double in 9 years.
And compounding interest is
I'm sorry, 8 years.
Miraculous, yes.
In order to offset this inflation. That's just a tidbit. Okay. Financial literacy is so important. You know, after you save so much money over the years to have a very comfortable retirement, and what you said earlier, sleep well at night.
Right.
And the thing is, folks, I'm gonna look at my viewing audience. Just ask Freeman. I don't have to hide under the desk when you come to visit because of placing your assets in volatile accounts or market risk, because what we do is we measure your market risk. Detailed, tax efficient plan. How much market risk can you stand? And for the most part, if you are preparing for retirement or already retired, then you cannot stand too much stress on your assets. That's why we do the stress test in the printouts and the documents that we use to share with you this hidden tax. How can we minimize it, or hidden tax being inflation? How can we avoid that? Maybe you say, well, I can move in with my kids.
I'm laughing right now. I hope your daughter's not watching.
I'll be all right.
That's right.
No,
I know you will.
You do not want to be a burden on your children, and you don't want your children to be a burden on you.
But you feel like everyone has inflation. So how in the world can you say that you can minimize that feeling of inflation? And I know there are tools that you use. Can we mention some of those?
Well, one of the tools that I use is Safe Money.
Yeah.
All right. I don't subject or place dollars into volatile or high market risk vehicles.
Like stocks and bonds?
No, don't do that. I stay right in my lane. As a matter of fact, a couple of clients over in, let me see, a lot in Virginia and also Falls Church, Virginia. They said, well, Freeman, you always say you stay in your lane. I do, and I help those clients with market stress test software.
Right.
and can measure it. And I say, oh no, that's too much risk to get out here. And we plan 5 years, 10 years, 20 years. We plan out so that we'll have some idea. Oh, and we have ways of which to reduce taxation on bucket theory. Let me share that with you. All righty. A number of advisors use buckets for distribution, and some use buckets with various market risk.
Okay.
I don't use any of those. I use the bucket theory for safe money transfers and rollovers and tax efficiency.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm getting excited, Rebecca. Because it worked out. Let me share what I did here. In Montgomery County, Silver Spring, Maryland, a lady has, again, we have high net worth clients, and her hot button was travel. Are you ready for this?
That's what she enjoyed, yeah.
That's what she enjoyed.
Yeah.
And she's not quite eligible for Social Security.
Okay.
She is 7 years out.
Okay.
I divided and partitioned her assets into several buckets. One provided immediate income in 30 days and had this income guaranteed. She's 60 now. At age 67, she said, I'll turn my Social Security benefits on at 67. I said, well, we can extend this guaranteed income. If you want to get 32% more at age 70, you can. Oh. She said, well, yeah, Freeman, I'm going to use this money. That's my travel money. So I saw the change in her when she got her first check this month. And she called, and she said, now I got a year. I'm going to save all this money up, and then I got my travel to see some of the places and experience different cultures. You know, that's why I enjoy this work.
Yeah.
This is not a job. This is something that if you do this, you get nothing. But if you give financial literacy, your time, the knowledge, when folks come, they say, well, Freeman, we heard you say, just ask Freeman. He has the tax efficient program. He will help you avoid or minimize your taxes. Understand the hidden tax, okay?
Inflation.
Inflation.
Yeah. And that's why you have multi-generational too. You've been in this for over 40 years, so you have now children, now even grandchildren, who have seen the difference that you've made by looking ahead, having a plan. Do you have a plan? Has your financial planner, if you have one, talked to you about these different things? Avoiding risk, tax plan. I think, can we give them that number, sir, and take a very short break and invite them in to meet you?
Well, let's offer the first 10 folks and get that text when they become our clients. Call us at 833-414-7233. Just ask Freeman. We got that tax efficient plan ready for you, written out, complimentary consultation. We'll sit there, have a nice cup of coffee, relax, and we'll start through your tax efficient plan. We're battling with inflation. Oh, and before we take this little break, I want to mention the top 10.
Okay.
Here's what happened. We're going to have inflation while working.
Yeah.
We'll have inflation when you retire. We'll have increased health care costs while you're working. You're going to have increased health care
when you're retired.
When you retire. Taxes are going up while you're working, and taxes will go up when you retire. What our firm does, Just Ask Freeman, is coming up with a tax-efficient plan. And wait till we talk about Social Security.
Yes. How
that fits in as well. We'll sit down with you and go through your particular portfolio, give you an opinion. You got $250,000 out there, $500,000, $1 million plus, where you need a second opinion, a person that looks out for your best interest. Just ask Freeman. Call us at 833-414-7233. I love to say that. Now, the top 10 folks, we're getting ready to take a break. Am I correct?
Yes.
Okay.
We got to pay the bills.
We got to pay. We have to pay those bills.
All right, get your calendar ready. Call that number so we can get you a wonderful appointment. Again, it is no cost, no obligation, and we'll be right back.
We're frequently asked where we think tax rates are headed. Most experts agree tax rates will eventually have to go up as our federal debt increases. Without any changes, the government's current plan is set to expire in 2025. Every penny counts, especially in your retirement. Is your current plan efficient and optimized to reduce your tax obligation? Contact us today. Just ask Freeman. For a complimentary review, reach us at 833-414-7233.
All right, welcome back to Just Ask Freeman. I'm Rebecca Powers. So honored to be here with Mr. Freeman Owen Jr., who has been doing this, being a fiduciary for more than 40 years and is licensed in 7 states. And I know you have certainly changed my life and many, many lives. We're going to talk now about Social Security. People think, oh, I have Social Security, that'll be enough to live on. I think we can all understand now that that is certainly not the case.
Especially when the average married couple,
Yeah.
$2,400.
Yeah, you
per
can't live
month.
on that.
Married couples, well, I look at $2,400 as like, well, that could be just only for your mortgage,
Right,
your mortgage payments.
absolutely.
You know, a lot of folks have asked, I've heard people when they call me up and they say, you know, my friends told me that I better get my Social Security. And here's the quote, I may not live that long to receive, because they don't, well, I provided the eligibility ages, which I'm going to do this, but I wanted to preface this part. You don't know your date of death.
Right.
And I'd say, well, how old are you? Well, I'm 60. I said, well, you're still living. When you were 50, you didn't know. You're still right here. So there's a lot of poor information that is conveyed to well-educated folks. Again, not understanding and not knowing about financial literacy.
Right.
Okay.
But everyone is different. You cannot take advice. I've learned that from you. You cannot take advice on someone else's situation because they don't know your situation.
Exactly. So, and then the question comes up, when should I retire?
Yeah.
Again, financial literacy. When should I take my Social Security? There's some major ages that we should specify here as you take this journey toward retirement. Suppose you're less than 58 years of age. You want to retire at 55. Now, it depends on where you're working. If you're in the federal government, all right, there may be a pension, but only 7.5% of the companies, or I should say industries in the United States now offer, a pension.
Right.
So what happened? We were thrust into employer-sponsored retirement accounts beginning in the 70s. The advent of the 401k.
Yeah.
The federal employees had a pension and still do, but they were offered FERS status. From civil service to FERS, which means that they had to have an employer-sponsored retirement account, like a TSP, and Social Security attached to their annuity, their pension. Okay,
Gotcha.
We're going to talk about that. All right. Now, age 59 and a half, key age. This is when you can begin withdrawing from your tax-qualified plans or employer-sponsored retirement accounts.
Okay.
401ks, TSPs, 403bs, 457s, all these numbers, which your retirement dollars are controlled by that entity, employer-sponsored retirement account. So then again, people start thinking about, I think I'll take my Social Security benefits. I'll be 62. You had indicated that is the first eligibility age, 62 through 70, full retirement age. If you were born after 1954, your full retirement age starts to increase in increments of 2 months. So at 67 in some cases would be your full retirement age, and age 70 would be the max age, eligibility age. Okay. So when a client has told me that the friend told them that you might not live that long to see 67, and there's 66 in a month to go. They tell me, you better go.
I know. Do you have plans for me? I mean, what's going on? You have to cut my brake line?
And, you know, they need to have
Yeah.
a Social Security report.
Yes.
Just ask Freeman. Call us at 833-414-7233 and get your Social Security report. This report will indicate and specify for you, Rebecca, the month and the year and the different
like the payments, it'll show you?
It'll show you
the different scenarios.
in different scenarios.
Oh, that's awesome.
All right. And then when you take income producing assets to supplement Social Security, and then you have a financial professional like myself, just ask Freeman, tax efficient plan, know how to lay that out and supplement your Social Security benefits, provide the month and the year when you're supposed to or when you want to receive your benefits, and it can be quite complex with survivor benefits for the spouses, living spouse, children.
And if you even have a spouse, because it's different, right? Because if one of you dies, you get the lesser or you get the greater? Which one is it?
It could be the greater.
Okay, you get the greater amount.
That's it. And so those kind of things could pop up.
So many things that we don't understand as lay people.
Exactly. So what they have to do?
Just ask Freeman.
Just ask Freeman. Freeman, I need a Social Security report.
Yeah.
I need a tax efficient report. I need your expertise to guide me through the journey of retirement. Sleep well at night.
Yes.
Knowing that those assets are safe and generating guaranteed income they'll never be able to outlive. And to pass the generation we talked about. Legacy.
Last week.
Done properly.
It's a big difference.
It's a big difference.
It can mean the difference literally of hundreds of thousands of dollars. We already need to take a very short break. There's the number, 833-414-7233. Call now. Even get a second opinion. You may be right on track, but there may be some tweaking that can mean big money for you and your legacy. Stay with us.
You know, retirement planning can be stressful. We pride ourselves on being different from other financial planning firms. You know, and during your initial meeting, we will get to know you and you will get to know us. We want to learn all about your vision for retirement, and together we'll design a plan to achieve your long-term financial goals. Our friendly staff will make you feel comfortable. The moment you walk in that door, call us today for your complimentary review. You deserve the retirement of your dreams. Just ask Freeman. Call us at 1-833-414-7233.
Welcome back to Just Ask Freeman. Thousands of you send in emails and questions and calls, and we love that. Keep them coming. Keep watching. I know that you were all about literacy, financial literacy, and I really wish that you could get in public schools throughout America to get this, you know, what you preach and your book into schools so we could all understand. We're talking about Social Security. That is just one part of your retirement plan, right?
That's just one part.
But it's an important part.
It is a significant part because you need to know how to supplement Social Security.
Gotcha.
You need to know how to avoid costly mistakes in receiving the benefit. All right, let's take one of the financial planners that is a coworker or a sibling. And I'm gonna use you as an example.
Okay.
Rebecca, I'm your brother. You're only 36.
Oh, I love you, brother.
So you better, when you turn 62, you better get that Social Security.
Because you'll be missing out.
That's it. You'll be missing out. Well, finally you reach 62. You go and file. Now, I gave you bad advice because once you've taken the benefit at 62, is permanent.
So you can't turn it back. You can't go on and off.
No, you can't go on and off because that's stopped.
Okay.
But you do have the opportunity to terminate the request for the Social Security within the first year and then file later. But you only got one shot. You only do it one time. All right. Now, you're going to take my advice. You start. And then you find out, just say, well, you know, this Social Security is a little low. I'm a six-figure income earner. And see, Social Security benefits are predicated on the prior year's income.
Gotcha.
See, it's not just like we were talking about inflation. Not prices, is wages.
Right.
See, that's the way Social Security works, on wages, not the cost of gasoline or interest rates rising now to 7%. You know, nope. So anyway,
it kills the power of your spending,
exactly.
of your dollars.
That's right. So what happened is you say, well, dang, for every $2, my brother didn't tell me that. Just ask Freeman. I tuned into the show. He told me, he says, for every $2 that I earn, my Social Security benefit was reduced by $1. That's a 50% penalty.
Right.
And so you try to stop it. Too late. You're in year 2.
Too late. Yeah.
Yeah, because you would have had to pay back the benefit that you had received during that 12-month period. But it's too late. Now you get the lower benefit for life. For life.
And Social Security is taxed now, right?
And it depends on what state.
Gotcha.
Now, I've got more clients now that have expanded. You said 7. It's getting up there now. 12. Now in Texas and Georgia, South and North Carolina, New Jersey,
incredible.
And so on. It's going.
So it goes state by state?
It depends on the
Social
state.
Security taxing? I thought it was federal.
Well, it is at the federal level.
Gotcha.
But some folks say, well, do I have to pay? Like in the state of Maryland, where I reside, you do not pay any taxes at the state level, but you pay taxes again on the distribution or the benefit from your Social Security for your Social Security at the federal level.
Gotcha.
See, that's the way that works.
They get you any which way, don't they?
That's why you need a professional to take care of your retirement journey.
Yes.
Not a surrogate. You get Freeman on. Just ask Freeman. Sit down there and do a tax-efficient report. Know when to get your Social Security benefits, how to maximize your Social Security benefits. The lady I just mentioned, whose bucket list, I'm just going to travel, enjoy, stretched out her funds using a bucket-type strategy and stretched her funds right into receiving her Social Security benefits, maximizing it, and then the tail end of her distribution from her tax-qualified plans, I set up a Roth.
Okay, the conversion.
That's it. Converted her in pieces to traditional IRA into a Roth. She satisfies the 5-year criteria. There's no RMD, no required minimum distribution, no mandatory distribution by the Treasury Department.
And you said you did it in pieces because you want to move it slowly over the years, so you didn't put her in that higher bracket?
That's it. And taught her where to get the money from to pay the taxes. Well, some advisors, they have that knowledge, but I have the financial literacy. I said, do you know where, if you want a Roth, usually for younger people it's a little easier, but for those who have large sums, who wish to have guaranteed income and concerned about their taxation and Social Security, just ask Freeman.com, or you could just ask Freeman, 833-414-7233, get a tax-efficient plan, your Social Security report, strategies to minimize your taxes, because what we want to do is, as you go into retirement, to reduce taxation. You cannot get away from it, Rebecca.
Absolutely.
You have to pay taxes, but why get blown up with a whole lot of taxes?
Right, and there are so many tools. Again, I say they didn't teach us this growing up because I don't think they really want us to know how to minimize taxes. But we all live by the same IRS rules. We just have to get someone who focuses on that. And your book, How to Avoid the Tax Traps.
That's right. The 10 IRA mistakes and how the top 10 and how to avoid the tax traps that are out there on your qualified money. And you need a person, your voice to, hey, look, this is what can happen to your nest egg. You've got anywhere between $250, $500, $1 million, $1.5 million. You want to retain and keep your dollars and have income generated, lifetime income, and then have a person who has the financial knowledge to provide financial literacy so that you can pass on those assets to your loved ones, wealth transfers, know how to get your Social Security. You're entitled to it.
Right, you've earned it.
Medicare tax, FICA, Social Security tax. Then when you get your Social Security at the federal level, you're taxed again. What is interesting, too, about Social Security? 1984, federal employees, if you were a federal employee prior to 1984, you didn't pay into Social Security. And
Really?
you get no Social Security because you have served civil service status.
Gotcha.
Okay. If you work in the railroad, 10 years, no Social Security benefit for you.
I didn't know that.
Yep. Let me see what other occupations. For the most part, Rebecca, you and I, and so many folks, we were thrown into employer-sponsored retirement accounts, no training.
That's right. Started in 1978. You told me the biggest trick they ever played on Americans. Here, go do your own planning for the rest of your life. Good luck. We're not going to tell you how to do it.
Yeah. What do I do?
Yeah.
You're on your own.
Right.
And so many folks have been on their own and still on their own and get guesses, make guesses, and then they see their assets dwindle away.
Right. And even if you have a financial planner, I urge you to get a second opinion. You could be right on track. Everything could be absolutely perfect. Don't you find that a lot of people don't have a plan? And unfortunately, we're already out of time. But so many people don't have a plan.
They don't have a plan.
And they need a plan.
Take it away, Rebecca.
All right, sir. 833-414-7233. There is no cost, absolutely no obligation, no sales pitch whatsoever. You get to meet the amazing team at Financial Sources, Inc. Give us a call. That's also the QR code. Get your calendar ready. We want to meet you and get you that reservation for your time and a copy of his book. We'll see you next week.